Tyrese Haliburton should have been celebrating the best month of his life. Instead, on the morning of Game 5 of the NBA Finals, a headline screamed that he'd just been voted the league's most overrated player in an anonymous poll of his own peers. That same night, he'll take the floor with the series locked 2-2, one upset away from yanking the Indiana Pacers from league punchline to potential champions. Somehow the kid from Oshkosh keeps turning slaps in the face into rocket fuel, and tonight could be the launch that blows every label to dust. Back when he was 14, Tyrese learned early that rejection travels fast. Cut from his first AAU squad and mocked for a jumper that started below his waist, he walked out of practice in tears, only to return the next day and the one after that. Within 2 seasons, he'd carried tiny Oshkosh North High to its first state title, drilling 18 straight free throws in the final, while college coaches barely bothered to look up from their phones. He wrote Oshkosh across his shoes because he feared people would forget where he came from before they noticed he was ever there. Iowa State finally noticed. On a quiet Tuesday workout, an NBA scout told Coach Steve Prohm that the skinny freshman, averaging 6 points a game, would be the Cyclones' highest draft pick. Halliburton nodded, taped his fractured wrist twice to finish a lost sophomore season, and still showed up at every practice. His parents begged him to protect the lottery slot. Tyrese insisted the bench needed his voice. That voice, more than any crossover, was draft stock. Draft night, 2020. 12 names went before his. Sacramento shrugged. Great passer, weird shot, lighter than a bag of groceries. A month into the season, the rookie led every guard in assist-to-turnover ratio and drilled 41% of his threes. But Fox was the franchise, and the Kings needed size. So the kid with the fastest brain in the room became trade ballast. The instant the email hit Indiana's server, everything in Indianapolis sped up. By the second practice, veteran Miles Turner found the ball slapping his chest at half-court before he'd even set the screen. Coach Rick Carlisle ditched half his playbook and told his young point guard, "You're our culture now, run it." The Pacers' pace rocketed from 20th to top 5, and a roster built to jog suddenly sprinted. Halliburton inked a 5-year, $260 million extension, but skipped the yacht circuit, staying in indie gyms all summer to add 12 pounds of muscle and a new sidestep 3. Yet the league still questioned him. He barely cracked the floor for Team USA in Paris, logging just 26 Olympic minutes. Back home, whispers about a bulky hamstring and lingering back spasms followed every shooting slump. Bloggers dissected his low release like a crime scene. Analysts wondered if the Pacers would ever pay a luxury tax to keep a roster built around a pass-first guard who can't stay healthy. December 2024 made them eat those doubts. In a single week, Halliburton detonated for a 43-point, 10-3 masterpiece, then stitched back-to-back 20-assist nights, joining Magic and Stockton in a club with velvet ropes. But just as the Pacers climbed, Halliburton's legs betrayed him again. A January hamstring tweak lopped 10 games off his stride. When he returned, the jumper grew tentative, the pull-up froze, and Indiana tumbled under 500. Some nights he stared at the ceiling, replaying misses until sunrise. "I was hearing every outside voice except my own," he admitted later. Christmas flipped the switch. From December 25 to season's end, the Pacers blazed 40-17, and Tyrese's effective field goal percentage eclipsed Steph Curry's 2025 mark. He still led the league in assists per turnover, and now, at 25, held more 20 and 10 games with 0 turnovers than any player ever had before turning 30. The reward? Another anonymous poll, where 14% of NBA players branded him overrated. Teammate TJ McConnell called it the worst take I've ever heard in my life. Playoff basketball answers slander faster than Twitter. Round 1 against Milwaukee, down 7 with 35 seconds left, Halliburton erased the gap with 2 fearless drives and an overtime dagger, while his father, recently banned for taunting Giannis after Game 5, watched from a newly granted luxury suite exile. Round 2 versus Cleveland, Indiana trailed by 14 entering the 4th, then Halliburton stole the series with a leaning 30-footer that shattered the Cavs' spine. Eastern Finals, Madison Square Garden. He wore a hoodie of Reggie Miller's choke sign, then dropped 26 on 10 for 17 shooting to knock New York out, capping a line no point guard had ever posted. 30-plus, 10-plus boards, 15-plus assists, 0 giveaways. June 2025. The Pacers and Thunder trade haymakers in the first finals, not to feature a dynasty in a decade. Through 4 games, the point spread between teams is 6. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander torches nets. Halliburton answers with hockey assist avalanches and clutch triples that twist Oklahoma City's probability chart like origami. Analysts point to Rick Carlisle's zone traps and Obi Toppin's sudden lob festival. Tyrese keeps crediting basketball gods and shoveling his chips into the next pot. Off the court, his phone buzzes non-stop. A 24/7 group chat with WNBA superstar Caitlin Clark, Halliburton's longtime girlfriend Jay Jones, and Clark's boyfriend Connor McCaffrey. They exchange scouting memes, Game 3 tunnel fits, and Clark's viral reaction video to Tyrese's last-second winner that stole a finals lead. Indianapolis suddenly owns basketball's most powerful co-headline. Pacers by night, Fever by day, one citywide hype loop. Behind the curtain, accountants whisper about next season. Halliburton and Pascal Siakam will bank over $90 million combined. Miles Turner is an unrestricted free agent. Benedict Mathurin's rookie deal is ticking. Indiana hasn't paid luxury tax in 20 years, but insiders claim ownership is ready to break precedent if their point guard finishes this miracle. Rivals doubt it. Halliburton doesn't care. Win first, count later, he laughs, just loud enough for microphones to catch. Game 5 tips in minutes. Halliburton walks through the tunnel, headphones off so he can hear the boos. He likes them. They sound like opportunity. Indiana hasn't lifted a banner since a silky shooter named Reggie Miller blew kisses to Spike Lee. Tonight, another skinny guard with an odd release could shove a small market franchise to the brink of a title and shove the word overrated into basketball's recycling bin for good. He was once the worst freshman a coach had ever seen. He was a one-handed shooter blocked by a toddler, a draft night afterthought, an Olympic seat warmer, and the polling booth punchline of 2025. If the next 2 games bend his way, he'll be something new. The most unlikely finals MVP since Chauncey Billups, the fearless heartbeat of a franchise reborn, and proof that every slight is simply pre-game music, if you hit play at the right volume. So ask again, overrated or blueprint? Whatever you decide, make it quick. Tyrese Haliburton is already dribbling toward the next impossible finish.